So we were talking about the infections risk of how people get infected with HIV and why HIV was invented to prevent you from making a lot of babies unnecessarily and unplanned, and as a means of population control. First of all, you keep your sperms to yourself, no babies. If you happen to have HIV, you will die very soon anyway, so you will not make any more babies when you die. So, a lot of those who are infected, how many people did HIV claim? How many lives? A lot. So it has served its purpose, reduce the population. Right? How many pregnancies were stopped or avoided or whatever because you were using a condom, because you were afraid of getting infect yourself with HIV? A lot. So voila, it has its purpose. So the HIV virus is a weapon against humanity and their reproductive capacity, for that matter. So we were talking about that one act of sexual contact, unprotected sex, you risk getting pregnant. That will influence the rest of your life. Even if you abort it, even if you make abortion, we see a lot of movies now, although that and just we say Hollywood, right? But it's true. There's something in there. It will haunt you for the rest of your life. That baby that you have aborted, that you have killed, it will haunt you for the rest of your life. And if you decide to get that child, you have responsibility for that individual, and at least when that person is 18 years old. That will change your whole life too. If you risk and go ahead and get infected along the journey on this act of 2 minutes, that will change your life forever too, because you need a lot of medication. And you are lucky to be in a country like Germany because the health insurance is paying for that. In other countries, I've watched a documentation of a guy who was infected with HIV in Germany, a teenager basically. He also said, "Oh man, just only this one night. That's it. Voila, she gave me AIDS." But it's my own responsibility because I didn't use a condom. I knew about the risk. In school, we have been taught about it. You see it everywhere, but I didn't use a condom still. That's my own, it goes on my own account too. Although she has a responsibility with the people that she's sleeping with to tell them that she has AIDS, although she knew she was diagnosed with HIV. There's a lot of people who are just intentionally having unprotected sex because even if they know of their HIV status, they go ahead and still have unprotected sex with a person, although they know that they will infect this person with that virus. Now, what intention, what reasons they do that, only they themselves know. Why do you want to infect another person if you know that you are infected? Why do you want to do that to another person? That's another topic on its own. This is not the topic today. So there are women who are a lot. As I was watching TV back then, I saw a lot of movies about family movies. I always used to watch family movies for some reason, dramas. And you always see that it's a man who's going astray, who's being unfaithful to a woman. A husband, they are married, they have children, everything like that. The husband, at one time, at one time, they all go, most of them, 95% or 99%, they all go astray. Having affairs with their secretary, with their work colleagues, with this woman they met at the bar, with this. They need to compensate their ego, because at one point of time, their ego is suffering if they don't get this attention from other women. So they need to now and then get out of that bubble that they call marriage, and feel. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm a kind of monogamous person. I'm not. If I'm dedicated to one woman, for me, most of the time is for life. That's why for me it is so hard to when I break up, when the divorce come, to let go. Even if I am the one who walk out, but still from the heart to let go, and for me to create a space to date another person, it takes time. So I am another kind of man. But anyway, I'm another kind of man. I'm unique. I'm special. I don't know those biologically male how they strict. I'm not biological male. So I'm male, but I'm not biological male. So I don't know what demon they have in them that force them to do things like that. I don't know. I'll never know. So, but anyway, that's not the topic, because but there are still some very few biological men who still has the integrity and the audacity to be faithful to their partners and to their oath. But very few. Most of the time, it's the men who goes astray, having affairs now and then with their secretaries, and most of the time also being caught up in the moment, not taking the responsibility to use a condom. You have a woman faithful to you, loving you, mother of your children, faithful to you, at home waiting for you. And you go, follow your ego and your penis driven, follow your ego and your penis, the voice of your penis. You go get AIDS. Because you don't have sexual protection too. You go get AIDS. You bring it to your faithful woman at home, wife at home. Because when you go out and sleep with other women, you come back at home at times, now and then, once in a while. Because you also, most of the time, they lose interest in having sex with their wives. But now and then, they say, oh man, let me. Or now and then they feel whatever. Now and then, once in every 3 months, they have sex with their woman. They have sex with their affairs without a condom, not knowing their HIV status. They come back home and once in a while say, okay, man, I have a responsibility to make love to this woman. Let me make love to this woman, so that she can stay next to me, so that she doesn't go somewhere else. Because if you don't sleep with your wife, somebody else will do. If you don't sleep with your husband, someone else will do. That's a fact. And that's a normal fact, and that's good so. You have the responsibility to have sex with your husband and with your wife if you are in a monogamous relationship. If you don't do so, somebody else will do it for you. Will make love for your wife to your wife for you, or will make your love to your husband for you. If you don't come attend to your duty, sexual duty, marital duty, whatever. That is now applies to a monogamous relationship. So you go ahead and you go have your sexual intercourses with other women. Also, women also do. Other men. You come back to your spouse at home, mother of your child, or your father of your child. You don't tell them that you have been having sex with other people. And for most, and worse even, not protected. You just go ahead and jump with him, in bed with him, and make sex and have sex with him. And we know most of the time, in a marriage or in a long-term partnership, that you stop using condoms. So you just go ahead and just have normal sex, no condoms, no protective sleep. And when the woman one day goes to the doctor and they say, hey, you are HIV positive, she goes like, what? Where? How? I only sleep with my husband, with nobody else. Yeah, your husband is the root of the problem, because he's not only sleeping with you, he's sleeping with other people too, and he brought it to you. And what makes the matter worse, as I was watching these movies, Most of the time, like I said, it are the men, the husbands, and the long-term spouses, men who are going astray. And most of the time, the women are aware of it. They know that my husband is sleeping with another woman. And they can assume that it's 50-50 that he's using a condom or he's not using a condom with his woman. 50-50. But they still close their eyes and welcome them back in their bed and in their vagina. And if you at least want to have sex with your husband because you love him, and if you're aware, or even if you're suspecting that he is not faithful to you, let him put a condom on, for God's sake. What's the problem? Do you think that he cannot love you anymore? Do you think that he will stop making love to you? He will anyway stop making love to you. Most of the time, they're just making love. For example, you used to have sex every three times a week, or 2 times a week from your house. I don't know how often it's normal. Let's say you used to have sex 3 times a week or 2 times a week, and now you only have 1 time a month, or every 3 months. Ask yourself what happened. Is he important? No. He's getting it somewhere else, or she is getting somewhere else. Even if you are not aware that he is cheating, but at least you can evaluate based on that there is not something not right again. Either he is sick or he is getting somewhere else. And either way, until we clarify that out, he dare put a condom on his body penis when he wants to enter my vagina. What's wrong with that? Where is the problem? Why you don't have the guts to take responsibility for your own health's sake and for your children's sake? When your husband is sick with HIV and he brings it to you, you are prompt to leave your children orphanage twice. But at least when he goes because he have HIV, because he was naughty, at least the children have the possibility to still have the mother around them. But you let him infect you. You take your children the privilege to grow up and grow old seeing their both parents alive. Why do you welcome a man that you know, welcome in your vagina without a protection, knowing you know very well that he is sleeping with other women? Or even if you're just assuming, why do you do that? This is one thing that I've never got in my life. Me, I always, even my time of experimenting then, I used to take my partners every 6 months to HIV test. Until then, there is no sex, or there is a protective sex. That were my standards. Either you take it or leave it. If you don't want it, there's the door out. That's why today I don't have HIV. I would have there were women today that I know that I've dated or that I wanted to date, that now that I know they died from AIDS. And thank God I didn't infect myself because of this safety precaution that I took, because for me that was the must. Stay tuned. I'm coming back.